You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992.
Welcome to Picks and Parlays Radio here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. I am your host, Chelsa Messinger. You can find me here every day, 1 Pacific, 4 Eastern, and also on Twitter. My handle is just my name, at Chelsa Messinger. Also, give us a shout on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you search Picks and Parlays, we're usually the first thing that pops up, and we're very easy to find. Always appreciate your feedback. Today is Friday the 13th. What a day. Actually, my mom was born on Friday the 13th, so I actually like the number 13, and I always bet it when I play roulette, and it's won me a lot of money. So, you know what? It doesn't have to be unlucky, and today we hope our luck is good. Actually, I'm not going to call it luck because we've done our research, and we've got a lot of good info for you guys heading into the weekend when it comes to college football and baseball. We're starting off today with college football with a few picks from Chip Chirimbus, including a Friday night game because Friday night college football is back, and it's never too early to get your picks going for the weekend as far as the Saturday games go. Second segment, we've got Tony T on to talk baseball, some of those National League wild card races. Really fun to watch. It'll be exciting down the stretch for several of those teams. I think the divisional races aren't quite as close, but the wild card definitely is a factor for a lot of these teams. And also Monday Night Football for next week. Browns-Jets, it's kind of a dumpster fire for both teams. The Browns had 18 penalties, despite Odell Beckham Jr. wearing that cool watch that he likes so much. Can Baker Mayfield be a little better? Meanwhile, Sam Darnold has mono, which I'm not sure how you get that when you're not in high school or college, but don't start the rumor mill, Joe. Joe's in studio whispering over there. And of course, we've got Joe D'Amico in studio talking NFL rapid fire picks. We've got a ton of games to get to, a ton of winners, and Joe was really good in week 1 of NFL picks, so you better listen to him. We've got a great show coming up after the break. We're starting off with college football after the break on Picks and Parlays Radio.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first-class tickets.
855-325-1780. 855-325-1780. That's 855-325-1780.
Money Now 100 is not a lender, broker, or agent of any lender or financial advisor. We do not make loans or credit decisions. You must be 18 years or older and a U.S. resident to qualify. This is not an offer or solicitation to lend. I went to MoneyNow100.com and got the $5,000 I needed deposited in my account the next business day. If you need money for any reason, help is here. Go to MoneyNow100.com and get the money you need. Need to pay off credit card debt? Go to MoneyNow100.com. Need your car repaired? Need home improvement money? Visit MoneyNow100.com. If you need fast cash for any reason, go to MoneyNow100.com. Good, bad, or no credit at all. Go to MoneyNow100.com. You could get up to $5,000 as soon as the next business day. Go to MoneyNow100.com on your phone, tablet, or computer. Type in the address bar MoneyNow100.com. That's MoneyNow100.com.
And welcome back to Picks and Parlays Radio here in the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Chelsa Messinger. You can find me here every day, 1 Pacific, 4 Eastern. All right, so we've got a full slate of college football, and we've got Chip Chirimbus joining us, who did pretty well on some of his picks.
Yeah, Saturday was a good day. We promoted the Colorado and Nebraska game the entire week, and Colorado wins outright. As a matter of fact, I had 3 underdogs that did win outright on Saturday for a really great winning day. But, you know, this Friday night games, it's really interesting what college has done is they throw these games out on Friday nights, and they usually are not primary top-rated matchups,
right.
You know, and we've got a 21-point favorite here in Boston College. They're 20.5. They'll go to 21 against Kansas. And, you know, Chelsea, we know Kansas has been an abomination for a number of years now.
Right.
And,
Les Miles has his hands full. I know he's a great coach, but
Yep.
it's such a situation at Kansas. They've been a basketball school for so long that football's really trying to keep up. And especially this season, it's been more of the same. They're 1-1, including a loss to Coastal Carolina at home.
Yeah, they did. And though they showed improvement in that game because they did beat Indiana State. 24-17 as like a 30-point
well,
favorite.
Congrats, guys.
Yes, and they averaged 3 yards a rush against Indiana State. Now, just imagine playing that FBS school and only averaging 3 yards a rush. What's going to happen here against a Boston College team that put over 350 yards on the ground in one contest already this year? BC is 2-0. They run the ball. A.J. Dillon is their top back, and they've beaten Richmond, Vermont. Now, that's not really saying too much at all, but they have a chance to go 3-0 against a really weak Kansas team that has won one of their last 52 road games straight up. That's 1 out of 52, though they did manage to cover 15 of those 52 games. At home, they are 7-9-1 in non-conference games. They just don't get it done in non-conference either. And Kansas, I can't see them being much of a foe for the Eagles here. I think the Eagles are going to fly high against them. They've played over 8 out of the last 10 games at home, which means they really like running up the points. They played
Boston College has scored 80 points in 2 games, including that impressive win over Virginia Tech, 35-28. Like you mentioned, I think the run game is going to be a factor for both teams. A.J. Dillon, of course, a great running back for Boston College. Kansas has Puka Williams, who is actually one of the better running backs in their division. But the problem is if their offensive line can't get him any holes and he can't get past the line of scrimmage, I mean, he's canceled.
Didn't you say to me you sort of like the under in this game because of the run games of both teams, right?
Yeah, the total sits at 51. So I think for that reason, I mean, 51's not a huge number, but since they both run the ball in Kansas, they've had trouble scoring points. Their offense is just terrible, minus Puka Williams, and their quarterback has not been good at all this year. Les Miles has his hands full. He just doesn't have the talent that he had at LSU, needless to say, obviously.
And, and BC has gone under 11 out of 15 times against non-conference foes.
Right.
So you may have something there. You may be live. If I was to lay the points or take the points, I would have a tendency to want to lay it on a Friday night in Boston.
So who are you taking in this one straight
Well,
up?
I'll take Boston College. I'll lay the points. I mean, this is not a play that we would use or we would sell or put out on the websites. But for our discussion and analysis of the games, I would lay it as opposed to taking it.
Right. All right, let's move on to Hawaii and Washington. Hawaii is 2-0 on the season, but they have played both of those games at home, and travel is a factor when it comes to Hawaii. They'll be going to Washington, where the Huskies are 21.5-point favorites. The total sits at 59. What are you thinking in this one?
Well, I'm thinking they've already beaten the Pac-12 twice this year.
Right.
They
It's
beat
a tough
Arizona.
year for the Pac-12.
And from what I understand, that the Wildcats, when they went for their opener against Hawaii as a big favorite down there, and they got crushed by 3 touchdowns, and Hawaii committed 6 turnovers in that game. But regardless, the coaching staff said that this team, the Wildcats, went there and expected to just walk over this Hawaii Rainbow team and didn't think much of the competition, and they really had it handed to them. Washington's not going to be surprised, especially after the way Hawaii came back and won again last week. This McDonald has thrown for almost 800 yards.
Yeah, 799 yards. He's right on the cusp. 8 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. That's a little worrisome, but they do throw the ball a lot. They have that run and shoot offense. Washington is a much better defensive team than Hawaii has seen. So I would take that into consideration.
I think you
as well.
said the key to this game is Hawaii's out of their element here, and
Right.
They've already beaten 2 Pac-12 teams, and I think conference pride may actually come into this. After Washington blows the game to Cal, they really
Right.
could have won that game.
We've got to mention that.
And they had Chris Peterson really did a horrible job in the final period. He wasted 40 seconds to call a timeout, and there were all kinds of issues that they had down the stretch. And I think the Huskies are going to rally around the lamppost, so to speak, here. And I think defense is the key, like you said. The Rainbows haven't faced a defense like the Huskies they're going to see here. And being on the road, I think the line again is over 21, and I think they can name their score here. Last time these 2 teams played, I think Washington absolutely annihilated Hawaii, and I expect it probably to happen again.
Right. When you have a run and shoot offense, the quarterback does need some time to throw.
Yeah.
Granted, they get the ball out a little quicker, but if Cole McDonald has a lot of pressure, which Washington can really bring, and they're just size-wise, I think Washington's a lot bigger than the teams that they've
And
faced.
I don't think McDonald has seen the kind of pressure that the Huskies are going to apply
Right.
here. And even in practice, it's difficult to simulate it. So I think Washington is the better squad. We know they're the better squad. It's just that can they make this
Can
number?
they cover?
Can they cover 3 touchdowns and the hook? We'll have to wait and see. It's not like my favorite players are not playing these games that are 3 touchdown favorites.
Right,
but once
especially
again,
with that 21.5.
that's a big number.
It's a
And
tough one.
Hawaii has shown they can score. Absolutely.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they move the ball. This is why this number looks kind of intimidating to lay. I think a lot of people might want to be on Hawaii here with all those points, but I wouldn't take it myself.
Right, and we tend to overreact early in the season, and like you mentioned, Washington is coming off that loss to Cal, which on paper looks bad because Cal's not a good team, but like I mentioned, you've got to remember not to overreact.
And Cal was one of my outright winners last week, so I was very happy about that. That was one of my releases, so I'd like to get that in. But I think that Washington is really looking to make a rebound here.
All right, let's move on to Oklahoma and UCLA. Oklahoma, man, their offense seems to be humming at a fast rate. Jalen Hurts has 9 touchdowns already, 591 yards of offense. I know their defense can be a little suspect, but you know what? They're coming off a 79-14 win over South Dakota. Granted, not a great opponent. UCLA 0-2 under Chip Kelly. As you mentioned, the Pac-12 is having a tough time.
They look pitiful. I'll tell you that right now. We've seen them against Cincinnati get annihilated, and last week they lost to San Diego State. We're talking about the Bruins of UCLA, of course. And Oklahoma, Chelsa, this team has put up 300 yards rushing and 300 yards passing in both games that they've played so far this season.
Right.
So Jalen Hurts is looking to make his bid for the Heisman Trophy. And this Oklahoma team is just incredible. They've won 32 straight non-conference games against unranked opponents. The last time they lost Chelsea was in the year 2005. They lost 41-24 to this UCLA Bruin team. Now, I don't mean this UCLA Bruin team.
It's a little different
a little bit different
days.
now with Dorian Thompson-Robinson leading the way. He went 8 for 26 against Cincinnati. They just haven't moved the ball at all. UCLA hasn't been able to run for 100 yards. And this Dorian Thompson showed a great improvement in the next game against San Diego State, which they did lose. But UCLA, where they are right now, it's a total shock to me at how bad they've been. I expected Kelly to help this team and get them
I think they're
improved.
still a couple years away from that rebuild, because it does take coaches a few years to get their players in, their recruits. Yeah. But UCLA, I think it's taken a little longer than their fans would have hoped. I think, obviously, the question in this one is not if Oklahoma can win, it's if they can cover. They're favored by 22.5 points, which is a big number, but Oklahoma has been scoring a ton of points. 128 points in 2 games. And so where would you lean on this one?
Well, like I said, I'm not a big point spread guy, and I've laid the first 2 games already. Now we have 22.5, and Oklahoma is so much better than UCLA. And this is a nationally televised game, by the way. There's going to be a lot of attention here. And I know, and everyone else out here knows, that the action has come really heavily on the Sooners. I mean, wise guys, straight guys, no matter who you are, they are on this side. And because of that alone, and Joe knows that I'm like the Antichrist when it comes to this.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna have to take UCLA and bite the bullet. I don't know how somehow, some way, this team's going to cover here.
All right, those are our college football picks on Picks and Parlays. After the break, MLB. Stick with us on Picks and Parlays Radio.
Less for our Craftmatic today than we did 20 years ago.
If you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and free information on today's Craftmatic adjustable beds. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Rated #1 by consumers nationwide on consumeraffairs.com. Craftmatic beds come in all mattress types, including cool gel memory foam for up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand. Enjoy temporary relief of low back pain, poor circulation, nighttime heartburn, mild arthritis. You'll sleep better in a Craftmatic adjustable bed. So if you're still searching for the perfect solution to a good night's sleep, call now for prices and information. And then decide when you see how little they cost. Discover Craftmatic for less, up to 50% less than today's leading memory foam brand.
Call 1-800-371-9608. That's 1-800-371-9608. Call 1-800-371-9608. Call now.
This is an urgent health notice for all residents suffering from back, neck, knee, and wrist pain. You may qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you, but the deadline is fast approaching. Simply call the Health Alert Hotline now.
You heard right. You may qualify for a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace. These items may even be covered by Medicare or your private insurance. The Health Alert Hotline is your brace company. These specialized braces have been tested for pain relief. Call us toll-free right now to determine your eligibility and to learn how to use your private insurance or Medicare to minimize your out-of-pocket cost. Don't wait. If the deadline passes, you may lose your opportunity to get a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace at little or no cost to you.
800-430-9571. 800-430-9571. 800-430-9571. That's 800-430-9571.
Do you owe $10,000 or more on at least 2 federal student loans? Then you may qualify for new programs offered by the Department of Education. These programs can reduce your interest, lower your payments, and possibly qualify you for loan forgiveness. If you have $10,000 or more and at least 2 federal student loans and currently not in school, you may qualify for one of these programs. Call now to check your eligibility. Student loan advisors are standing by to help you determine if you qualify for these new programs. They can help you reduce your interest, lower your payment, and even forgive a portion of your student loan debt. Take control of your financial future. Make this free 5-minute free call now to Nationwide Student Loans and learn how you can reduce your student loan debt.
800-439-7851. 800-439-7851. 800-439-7851. 800-439-7851.
Welcome back to Picks and Parlays Radio here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Chelsa Messinger, on this Friday the 13th, where we're hoping that our luck is actually pretty good. We've got Tony T joining us now to talk a little baseball. Tony, how's your Friday the 13th going?
It's going well, feeling better, increased my dosage. I've got to feel about as high as a Bob Baffert horse right now, but I'm ready to talk some baseball with you. We've got just 3 more weekends of regular season baseball to go. That's about 15 games for most teams. And 2 divisional races, Chelsa, Minnesota up 3.5 on Cleveland, and St. Louis, a 4-game lead on the Cubs and the Brewers.
Right. Let's talk Twins and Indians. Twins got Jake Odorizzi on the mound, 14-6 with a 3.60 ERA. Aaron Savali going for the Indians, 3-3 with a 1.93 ERA. He's been really good for the Indians. And that staff that's in general had a really good year so far, whether it's their rotation or their bullpen. Twins, on the other hand, are known for hitting a lot of home runs. The total sits at 10 on this one. Where are we leaning?
We're going to go here, Minnesota and Cleveland, under the total of 10 runs. Minnesota favored in this one by -107, but we're going to take a look here at the under. I think these games are going to take shape. They're going to feel like playoff pressure now, as far, because Cleveland's within distance here. But on the mound for Minnesota, as you said, Jake Odorizzi, he's allowed just 3 earned runs or fewer in 8 straight starts, and the under is cashed in all 8 of those games. Odorizzi's faced Cleveland 4 times this season, giving up 4 earned runs in 22 third innings pitched. Of course, with the unders hitting all 4 times, and we look at Odorizzi against the Indians. The under is 7-0 in his past 7 starts. Looking the other way here with Savali Chelsa, he goes for Cleveland. He's given up 2 earned runs or fewer in 8 starts, under 6-1-1 in those games. He's faced the Twins twice, allowing 1 run in 5 innings on Saturday, a run over 6 innings a month ago. Past 5 games, Indians bullpen has been sharp. Minnesota hitting just 207 as a team in that span. So Chelsa, we're going Minnesota and Cleveland under 10 runs.
All right, a nice little AL Central matchup there. And like you said, probably not bad blood, I'm going to say, but I think these 2 teams probably like competing against each other since they are divisional rivals. Let's move on to the Brewers and the Cardinals. The Brewers this week, notably, Christian Yelich is now out for the season after fouling a ball off his knee. So that's a big blow to the Brewers lineup. I think he had like 44 home runs or something. He was a huge part of their offensive production. The Cardinals are taking Adam Wainwright on the mound, 11-9, a 4.16 ERA, coming off a 7-inning start, allowing just 1 run to the Pirates, which you have an asterisk with. But Adrian Hauser on the mound for the Brewers, 6-5 with a 3.59 ERA. Where are we leaning on this one?
Well, another good pitching matchup here, Chess. I think some of these pitchers are starting to round into form for the start of the playoffs. We're going to come here under a total of 8 runs. The St. Louis is favored by a -126 in this game. We're going to just look to the total going under. Adrian Hauser, as you said, is going to pitch for Milwaukee. He's pitched well, getting up just 1 run in 6 of his past 7 starts. Now, in his past 2 starts against the Cardinals, the right-handers allowed 1 run in 5 innings and another start where he allowed a run in 5 1/3 innings. The Brewers bullpen has been in good form, so it looks like they're rounding into shape for the playoffs. Also in that span, though, the Brewers bat hitting just 184 against right-handers and the Cardinals 226. So we're seeing the hitting down a little bit. As you said, no Yelich in the lineup with that broken kneecap. And Adam Wainwright, well, he's pitching well. 1 run allowed in his past 2 starts, working 14 innings. And, of course, that bullpen has been sharp. And the unders cashed in 6 of 8 of their past 8 head-to-head meetings. Brewers have gone under in 13 of 18. So, Chelsa, we're going underground again here, under the total of 8 runs, Milwaukee and St. Louis.
And especially with some bullpen help from some of those September call-ups, I think that helps as well because you can keep guys fresher for longer. And when it comes to some of these garbage games, maybe when there's a lot of runs scored, you don't have to waste your good relievers. So that's a plus. Let's move on to the Padres and the Rockies. Joey Lucchesi, I always say that wrong, going for the Padres against Jeff Hoffman of the Rockies. Who are you liking in this one?
Well, we're going to look here at the Padres and Rockies. We're going to take San Diego Padres -111. The total in this game is high at 12.5, but we're going to take a look here at just the Padres -111. And you know what? Joey Lucchesi, he's a contract guy. He's got a 1-year contract over $500,000 a year, so he's pitching for money. So we feel that's enough motivation here for Lucchesi to go out there and have a good start. And the players will know that he's under contract here, so they'll try for him. Left-hander pitches in good form, allowing 2 earned runs in his past 3 starts, working 17 innings. Now, Jeff Hoffman, he counters for Colorado. Man, he's been hammered. 1-6 record, 11 starts, ERA over 7, WHIP 1.65. Rock's 0-3 in his past 3 starts. The right-hander's given up 12 earned runs in 12 innings. And, of course, Rocky's bats have been cold past 5 games, just 175. Padres bullpen's pitched a little better. As San Diego has won 4 of 6, and they've beaten the Rockies 6 of 8 head-to-head. Hey, I've got a pitcher who's on a 1-year contract, who's in good form, Chelsa. I'm going to take him, San Diego -111.
These guys are trying to do poorly. Everyone's pitching for their job, but as you mentioned, especially in the NFL, it seems like that guys under contract, they really try to do well. I've told you many times before that I'm a Titans fan, and Marcus Mariota, he's looked better this year so far, and he's in a contract year. And let's move on to Monday Night Football. We've got Browns at Jets coming up on Monday. This is a matchup that you could call a bit of a dumpster fire. The Browns are coming off that huge loss to my Titans by 30 points. Meanwhile, the Jets are going to be without quarterback Sam Darnold, who has mono, of all things. First thoughts on this one?
Yeah, here we got the line here. Cleveland favored 7, total 44. I'm going to take the points of the New York Jets +7. You know, when the game opened with Cleveland -2.5, I was kind of leaning the Cleveland side, I'll be honest with you. But that's with Sam Darnold starting. But, you know, now with Trevor Siemian getting the start, we see the line move 4.5 points to Cleveland -7. I got to take +7. You know, let's compare Trevor Siemian and Sam Darnold here. Darnold, 59% career passer, 18 touchdowns, 15 picks. Jets are 4-10 in his games as a starter. You know, obviously his loss hurts Darnold's development. Darnold is far from a finished product at this point of his career. Siemian, a career 59% passer, 30 touchdowns, 24 picks, 13-11 as a starter. He has more experience, and let's face it, he was signed by the Jets because he had a winning record as a starter. You know, Trevor Siemian, a 7th-round pick who worked his way into the starting position with the Broncos, now a backup with the Jets, and the line moved from Cleveland -2.5 to -7. I'm telling you, Chelsea, I just don't think Sam Darnold is worth 4.5 points in the line. I don't see much drop-off here with Siemian because, again, Darnold, a young, developing quarterback. Siemian is experienced. So I'm definitely going to take the points with the Jets.
As someone who took the Jets last week and got burned, it's going to be hard for me to take the Jets this week, especially because I see what you're saying about Sam Darnold, but they're also missing some other players. C.J. Mosley, who is their best linebacker, he went to Alabama, is a big loss for them. I don't think he practiced yesterday. I'll have to double check and see if he's actually going to play this weekend. Him and Quinnen Williams are big blows to their defense, and that's a problem for me. So the Jets aren't just missing Sam Darnold, they're missing other people, and that makes me a little cautious. However, I mean, do you think the Browns look any better in their second game?
That's the question mark here is with Cleveland's defense. I was a big skeptic of Cleveland coming into the season because I was worried really about their defense. And of course, Baker Mayfield, 3 picks in that 43-13 defeat to Tennessee. You know, remember his hand was wrapped after Sunday's game, so it took a beating there. Of course, he practiced without the wrap on Tuesday. But something that really got my attention here is he took 5 sacks at home last week. And of course, the coach's film, we talked about that on our previous segment here yesterday about the coach's film that's out and released. The writers have saw it. A lot of writers are writing about what they're seeing on tape here. And the issue is the Cleveland receivers are just not getting open. Baker Mayfield holding the ball a little too long, which points to he's trying to go for those big plays. You know, Chelsea, when you have somebody like OBJ in the lineup, you feel pressure to try to get him the ball in those fly patterns. And that means you have to hold the ball a little longer, and that subjects him to punishment and hits.
Fair. I think the Titans defense is a lot better than the Jets defense is going to be because everybody likes to forget that the Titans had the 3rd best defense in the entire NFL last season. So I think we've got to give some credit to my Titans. However, the Browns, they've got to mentally pick themselves back up. I don't know. It's just this stuff with OBJ wanting to wear the watch. And people forget they have Jarvis Landry too. So I hope that he's going to get some targets too because he is really good. And I think he's lost in the mix sometimes. But yeah, it'll be a challenge for Freddie Kitchens to bounce back because I don't know, it's a tall task for him because I think just running an NFL team when you haven't been a head coach before is a tall task, and especially when they've got so many personalities on that team.
Absolutely. You know, one thing about the NFL, it is a bounce back league. It's a love-hate relationship. You got to love a team one week, then you got to hate them the next. And that's usually how the NFL works. You know, team that you're on, you probably going to have to go against them in the next game. And sometimes it's really tough. I know how it feels when you lose a game with a team and the next week they look at the right side and you don't want to play them because you got burned. That happens a lot in the NFL. I mean, when you look at the points spread records at the end, a lot of them are really close to 500. That means they're going to win, lose. And you got to really bite the bullet sometimes and just kind of go with who you feel who has the best value in the line.
Right.
And again, looking at this, I don't see it here with the Browns going on the road on a Monday night. There's going to be a lot of, the Jet fans show up and support their team. That's one thing about the New York fans is they show up and support the team here. And I'm also concerned here with the Browns secondary. Marcus Mariota completed only 14 passes, but they went for 248 yards, and they also gave a big play touchdown, 75 yards to Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Derrick Henry was running like a madman and running like he was playing against the Jaguars, a team that he always torches. But do you think this line moves any before next? Because we have almost not a week, but we have several days before this game. Do we get this line now, or should we wait?
I think if you can find a 7, you better get it now, because I don't think that 7 is going to hold. There's only a few books that have this 7, and I think it may be 6.5, 6. Again, I think people are going to examine here Simeon a little bit more as we get into the lineup and see there isn't much difference between the two. You did mention the injuries there for the Jets, but also too it's the Cleveland defense that has been the big worry for me coming into the season and last season. So I think if you get the 7, you better get it.
All right, that is our talk with Tony T. We're back after the break with more NFL talk on Picks and Parlays Radio.
At the Home Depot, we appreciate pros. That's why we created Pro Extra, built just for pros with exclusive benefits like volume pricing, purchase tracking, and paint rewards. Plus, now pros can save even more time with the new Pro Experience on the Home Depot app. Find products fast in store, access special member savings, and use the new Pro Extra virtual ID at checkout. All from the convenience of your phone. Become a Pro Extra member today and receive $20 off your next in-store purchase. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Do you have a problem hearing the television? Do you need to crank up the volume so loud your family is screaming at you? Then put on your TV ears. TV Ears has helped millions of people just like you hear TV loud and clear without cranking up the volume. For about $60 with a 30-day free trial, you can get your own set of TV Ears. When you wear TV Ears, you can mute the TV volume for private listening or let others watch TV with you. Order in the next 10 minutes and take us up on our 30-day home trial and very special price. TV Ears is a brand hearing professionals have trusted for more than 20 years. And through this special radio offer, you can get your very own for just $60. Just mention promo code RADIO. So put on your TV ears and make everyone happy. 800-984-4207. 800-984-4207. 800-984-4207. That's 800-984-4207.
At 28, I had struggled with opiate and meth addiction for 12 years. I did and said things that the sober me never would have done. One day I realized I was not invincible. I was not exempt. And that's when a friend told me about elite rehab placement. They gave me the tools I needed to get sober, and all it took was the one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. That's 800-403-5912.
Hey.
Hey, Bench, what are you doing?
I'm rubbing my Blue Emu on.
Were you ready to go fishing?
Fishing?
You said we were going fishing this morning.
I have 10 Gold Glove awards.
Oh, here we go again.
Johnny Bench doesn't go fishing.
Yeah, I know.
Johnny Bench goes catching. Blue Emu supports healthy muscles and joints. Blue Emu. It works fast and you won't stink. Available at nationwide retailers and Amazon.
Welcome back to Picks and Parlays Radio here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network on this Friday the 13th, where we've got Joe D'Amico hopefully bring us some good luck. And we were just talking about his watch and how he said it was nicer than
All my
OBJ's
watches are better than ODB. I'm classier.
ODB.
I'm better looking. He's got OCD or ODB, whatever he's got. I'm better looking, and I'm cooler, and I've got winners for everybody. Chelsa, I am proud to be here, closing up Friday's show with you. You know when you go see a show, sports fans, when you go see an entertainment show, who closes the show? The headliners. And the headliners are closing the show today. I love Chip. I love Tony. I love Chipper. I used to hang out with Chipper. You know, I like to hang out with him because I got all those good parking spots. Now, listen, let's talk about NFL. I wanted to, you know, I hate to gloat. I hate to brag.
Oh, really?
I don't mean to brag and I don't mean to boast.
Doesn't
but I'm the
sound
best
anything
capper
like
from
you.
coast to coast, guys. Sports fans, how about last Sunday where I went a perfect 3-0 in my NFL, including a big win on my AFC game of the month? It was a squeaker, guys. Baltimore Ravens blew up the Miami Dolphins 59-10. Guys, this week at Picks and Parlays, 4 big winners. My 13-3 Dominator, my 19-5 Bookie Buster, they're already 1-0 this season. My 26-6 High Roller, they're 1-0 this season, guys. It doesn't get bigger or better than my NFL total of the month. I am also 2-0 in big games in college football. Saturday, 4 big money makers for you, including a free winner. Guys, I got my 42-13 Las Vegas strip move. My 52-16 touchdown play. Those are 2-0 already this season. My 25-6 high roller. Get all my winners right here at Picks and Parlays, guys. Or even better, take advantage. Make sure that you have a winning season. Buy a season discounted package. And Chelsa, week 2 NFL.
Right, you got to keep your record going strong because
got to do it.
In this line of work, it's what have you done for me lately?
So just like my relationship with my wife.
Oh no.
Guys, I do want our listeners and our viewers to know something. Week 2 in the NFL, a lot of people out there feel that the opening week of the season is the most difficult. I feel it's week 2. And I want to tell you where a lot of people fall into a trap. We only have really week 1 to base our predictions on.
Right.
And a lot of people overthink it. They put too much thought into one game that happened the previous week.
Overreactions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Chelsa, I want our listeners and viewers to know, bet wisely, guys. We got some big winners on the show today. I'm very excited, Chelsa. I'm great. I just love being here with you. It's a gorgeous day in Vegas. We got to see Chipper. We got to watch Tony Tellez via satellite here, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to close the show with some big NFL winners.
Right. All right. So let's get to it. Let's start with Seattle and Pittsburgh. I almost said the Pirates. The Steelers are -4, despite looking pretty terrible against the Patriots.
True, Chelsa. Sports fans, uncharacteristic, as Chelsa mentioned, the Steelers, they really didn't show us anything worked for them last week as they got steamrolled by the Patriots 33-3. But this team does have a lot of talent, and they do have a lot of pride, guys. Many handicappers are thinking bounce back here, but I got to tell you, sports fans, the Seahawks are a solid team. They've got a smart coach. They've got Clowney on defense now. He had a couple of tackles last week. He had a big sack. And until Big Ben in the offense shows me something, they are a play against for me as a favorite. I'm going to tell you what, I put a lean on the underdog here. I'm taking the Seahawks plus the 4 points as of taping. I got to take the dog here until Pittsburgh shows me something that proves me wrong.
Especially with their offense being so dismal. I'm just wondering if they can make up for the loss of Antonio Brown. Yeah, he's really dramatic, and yeah, he brings a lot of problems, but he almost acts as a decoy for Juju to get open. Because, when you have AB on the field, he's taking your best defender, and so your other receivers can get open. So can Juju be a #1 receiver and, make up for the production that they lost with AB?
Well, he certainly has the talent. He's got the tools to be a very good receiver. He's got the height, the weight, the speed, the hands. Big Ben, he's found a way to win over the years. I'm not crazy about Roethlisberger.
Watching him run,
oh my God. I'll be honest with you. It's like watching Chipper climb the stairs. I want you to know I'm not a big fan of Ben. I know he's a winner, but I think that over the years he's tucked the ball. He's held up the ball a little too often. I think he throws the ball up a little too often. I'll be honest, Terry Bradshaw was never crazy about it. He's a Hall of Famer. If it wasn't for that defense, that team would not have been a Super Bowl team.
I remember one of the years, Big Ben was one of the first quarterbacks in a Super Bowl to only throw for, I think, 100 and some yards. So I think he's had a lot of help around him.
Absolutely.
And like you mentioned, that defense has been so good. And traditionally, this is just a good team all around. They usually have a good run game. Seattle didn't cover last week either, but
I think getting 4 points, they've got a smart coach. They've got Clowney
Russell
on
Wilson
defense.
is always good, too.
Absolutely. I'll be honest, until Pittsburgh shows me something, I've got to go against them. If they're a favorite, plus the 4 points, I'm taking Seattle.
All right, let's move on to Dallas and Washington. Dallas is favored in this one minus 5.5. Total sitting at 46.5. What do you think on this one? The boys?
Chelsa, I'm going to be honest. Last week I went against them just on the show here on a lean. I'm going to do it again. I feel the Washington offense can keep the Dallas defense on the field, therefore keeping the Dallas offense off the field. Yes, Dallas is a better team on paper. But guys, they were just exactly that a season ago when these two NFC East rivals split out 2 meetings. I mean, they each won a game last year, and they were better on paper last year again. The underdog is 31-11 against the spread the last 42 meetings in the series. Plus 5.5, I've got to put a lean on the Cowboys here.
I will say Washington surprised a lot of people. When, I don't know, it depends on the number you had, but they were supposed to get trounced by the Eagles last week, and it didn't happen. So, I mean, you've got to give them some credit. Case Keenum actually didn't look too bad.
You know, Chelsea, the NFC East is it's a black and blue division. They play each other very tough.
Right.
Okay, I'll be honest with you.
There's a lot of history in that division,
absolutely.
and the fans hate each other.
Absolutely, yeah. I've been to those games. I'll tell you what, I hate some of those fans, and I'm not even at the game. I'll be honest with you. We're going to talk about the Eagles in a few more games from now. We'll touch on the NFC East. But as far as that goes, I'll be honest, it's a tough division.
Right. All right, let's move on to the Cardinals and the Ravens. The Ravens were one of the teams that looked incredibly good in Week 1 under Lamar Jackson, who has now proven that he can throw the ball. He's not just a dual threat guy. He's not just a running back, as some people call him. He looked really good, and like he's really worked on his mechanics over the offseason. But Baltimore is favored by 13 points. Is that number too high, you think?
I'll be honest with you. My friends, I got everybody paid last week. AFC Game on the Ravens. But after last week's performance and having the Kansas City Chiefs on deck, yes, they play the Chiefs next, I think there's a real tough spot for the Ravens to lay nearly 2 touchdowns. To me, Chelsea, this game is trying to decide whether to go on a date with either Rosie O'Donnell or Roseanne Barr. I'd rather be celibate. All right, I'm staying away from this game. I think there are better games on the board, sports fans.
I think the Cardinals might look a little better in this game since Kyler Murray actually looked really good in the second half. The first half, he didn't look so good. Granted, that was against the Lions, who are not the Ravens. Okay. Let's move on to Jacksonville and Houston. The Texans are favored in this one, minus 8.5 at home. Total sits at 43.5. The Texans nearly beat the Saints in New Orleans. Do you think they cover that big number against the Jags?
Chelsea, Foles is out with a broken collarbone. Minshew is at the helm for the Jags here. Houston won and covered both meetings this season ago and comes in here. Let's face it, they're pissed off after last week's 2-point heartbreaking loss to the Saints in New Orleans. They're looking for a little redemption here in front of their home crowd. I'm not crazy about the number here, 8.5, but if I had to play this game, I got to lay the points with the Texans at home.
Right. There's some interesting matchups in this game when it comes to receiver defensive back. I'm excited to see DeAndre Hopkins of the Texans go against Jalen Ramsey, who normally calls everybody trash, but DeAndre Hopkins was the one player he's actually been complimentary of because he does have a 99 rating in Madden, and he's one of the best receivers in the league.
Funny side note, if me and DeAndre Hopkins would get married, he would be DeAndre D'Amico. Anyway. I digress. No, you know what? I would have to take the Texans at home here. I think they're the better team, and I think they're looking for a little redemption after last week's heartbreaking loss.
Right. I think Gardner Minshew actually looked a lot better than people thought.
Yeah.
I think he had an 80% completion percentage, but Houston, they looked pretty good against the Saints. They nearly won. Deshaun Watson doing all he can despite having not the greatest offensive line. So if he can have the time and just not get pummeled by the Jags, which I know they do have a good pass rush, but yeah, Houston just looked so good in Week 1. Yeah. It's hard for me not to overreact.
It's kind of tough, but like I said, it's hard to judge just from Week 1. But they're playing good, and like I said, they're looking for a little redemption here, I believe.
All right, let's move on to Chicago and Denver. Chicago, 2.5-point favorites on the road.
Chelsa, sports fans, I would absolutely love to give you this game, but not only do I have this side as my 26-6 NFL high roller, they're already 1-0 this season, but I also have this game as my NFL total of the month. I don't put out a lot of totals in NFL, but when I do, they are money. You get both big winners right here at Picks and Parlays. I'm going to go 2-0 in this game.
Are you?
I am.
I picked against Chicago in the first game of the season, despite a lot of people on our network wanting to pick the Bears, and I took the Packers. So, not sure if I have a whole lot of faith in Mitch Trubisky and that offense. Let's move on to New Orleans and the LA Rams. The Rams are -2 in this one. Total sits at 52. This is a revenge game if we've ever seen one, because everybody remembers that call to end the Saints season against the Rams.
Well, a couple of no calls, quote unquote,
right.
No calls, more than one, you know. Once again, Chelsa, I'd love to talk about. I don't just love this game, like this game. I love this game, guys. I absolutely love this game. This is my 19-5 bookie buster. I got you paid last week with a bookie buster in the NFL. You get it here at Picks and Parlays. You will get paid. I want to talk about it. We can talk about it next week after everybody gets paid.
Right.
But I can't because I want everybody to be on this game this week. That's how much I love this game.
Right. Okay. So let's talk about Philadelphia, Atlanta. I'm a little surprised that the Eagles are only favored by 1.5 points. Granted, it is in Atlanta, but I mean, the Eagles looked good in the second half. So that's what I'm worried about. What are you thinking on this one? Are you playing this one, or is this one of the ones you really like?
You know, I do. I'm going to give it out, but I do like this game. I want you to know, earlier on in the week, you know, it's a big process. My process. Whenever somebody else, if they throw a dart on a dartboard or if they flip a coin, if they win, more power to them. My process is very, very long. It's drawn out. I do a couple of sets of my own power ratings. I put it against the number. I deal with some different people in the business that move lines with big bets before they move their lines. I know where lines are going to move. That's played a big part, a big key in the. A big key to my success over the years. Yeah. And then you got to take some other things into consideration. I will tell you this, though. I really didn't look at this game in detail until I was asked to do this game on the show, but I really like it. I really like this game. It seems so long ago, guys, that the Falcons were an NFC force and they went to the Super Bowl. About as long as it was that I had a lot of hair in my head. Guys, the Eagles, that's a long, I used to have hair like Chelsa. Yes, yep, and blonde too. Guys, the Eagles are touted to be the best team in the NFC East and are only one of 6 teams in the entire NFL forecasted to have double-digit wins, 10 or more victories. They won and covered the last 3 meetings in this series. Sports fans, I really feel bad. Atlanta's offensive line still resembles a piece of Swiss cheese. Their defense is horrible. The head coach Dan Quinn is on the hot seat. I think things are really going to get worse before they get better for the Falcons and their fans. Philly, both of these are against the spread. 12-5-1 the last 18 meetings in the series and 4-0 the last 4 on the road. Falcons against the spread, 2-5 the last 7 at home, 2-7 against the number the last 9 overall. They do not get the bettors paid. Remember something, guys. This isn't, I know earlier on, I know Chipper and you were talking about something about betting with your heart, or you and Tony were talking about heart, and maybe, Tony said something
getting
about
burned by teams.
Betting a team the week before and then going against them. This is not about your heart, all right? The teams that you love, I mean, it's one thing if you're an Ohio State alumni and you love them. It's another thing if your favorite team is the New York Yankees. I want you guys to know that's one thing. But remember something. The New York Yankees and Ohio State do not pay your rent, okay? This is about wins and losses. Your heart doesn't belong in this. Do it with your head. Sometimes, yeah, I had Notre Dame last week. I hate them this week. Put money in your pocket. Let me tell you something. Out of your heart, in your head, that's all that matters. Whether you like somebody last week and you hate them this week or vice versa, it doesn't matter as long as you're getting paid. Keep your heart out of this. Right. Keep your mind in it, and that's that. And guys,
all right, betting advice and life advice from Joe D'Amico. That's our NFL segment. We'll be back after the break on Picks and Parlays Radio.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. They want your money, and guess what? They can legally take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you. So what do? Fight back by letting our team of experts at the tax helpline work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws and will fight to save your money. So, if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket.
800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. That's 800-932-1749.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Attention business owners. Now is the perfect time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. We can give you packages with up to 90 great channels and save your business a ton of cash. And if you call right now, you can learn how to get free equipment and free installation. Now you have choices. It's time to start saving money on your cable TV bill for your business. And call today and get 90 channels plus free equipment and free installation. Smart business owners like you all across the country are consolidating and saving money on their cable TV, internet, and phone service for the business. So now's the perfect time. This may be a limited time offer to the first 100 people that call right now. So please save money and call now.
800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. 800-470-7113. That's 800-470-7113.
Welcome back to Picks and Parlays Radio here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. I am your host, Chelsa Messinger. You can find me every day on Twitter at Chelsa Messinger. And also give us a shout on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. If you search Picks and Parlays, we're the first thing that pops up. So we're very easy to find. So no excuses to not follow us, like us, and subscribe, and every other action that you can do on social media. It was a great show today on this Friday the 13th. We started off with college football, and we're going to recap all of our picks from today's show. In case you weren't listening, we got you covered. Chip Chirimbus came in studio to talk a little college football. Kansas at Boston College, taking Boston College to cover that big number, minus 20.5. Oklahoma at UCLA. Chip's taking the dog in this one. UCLA at plus 23.5. Washington at Hawaii. Take Washington minus 21.5 because Hawaii is making that long journey for the first road game of the season. Moving on to Tony T's MLB picks. Twins at Indians, taking the under in that one, as well as the Brewers Cardinals, taking unders in both of those games. Padres at Rockies, taking the Padres at minus 111. And Monday Night Football, a little bonus pick for you guys. It's the Browns and the Jets in a dumpster fire matchup for the ages. Taking the Jets at plus 7. Tony is. That's his pick. Joe D'Amico was in studio as well today for NFL Rapid Fire picks. Seahawks, Steelers, taking the Hawks plus 4. Cowboys, Redskins, taking the Redskins plus 5.5. Jags, Texans, taking the Texans to cover minus 8.5. Eagles, Falcons, taking Eagles minus 1.5. Bears, Broncos. That is one of Joe's top picks that you can find on Picks and Parlays. And Saints and Rams, that's his Bookie Buster play. So you know he's got strong feelings on that, as well as most things that he talks about. All right, that's our show. We'll be back next week for for more betting talk on Picks and Parlays Radio.